now she's coming back. She's got a Netflix special. That's the right response.
Yeah.
She's got a Netflix special. And here's the capper. On the promo, and apparently there's now articles out about from people who have seen the preview, she plays the victim. And she says, poor me. And she actually has the nerve to say that she was run out of Hollywood. This person
with $100 million in her pocket. Look at Oprah, how hard it is for her.
Oh, she's got like 10 houses. Ellen DeGeneres.
Michelle Obama. Look how hard it is for women in America. They're hurting.
I got kicked out of show business. Be kind girl wasn't kind. That was the headline. Here's the problem. I'm a comedian who got a talk show, and I ended the show every day by saying, be kind to one another. Had I ended my show by saying, go yourselves.
I believe that they gave me a raw deal because this industry is a monster. It's the same monster that these Me Too was trying to tell you about. But they hate the monster for how it and I hate that monster for how it eats. But my God, man, it's the same monster.
You always knew something felt off about Ellen's be kind persona and Oprah's saint-like image. The forced smiles, the calculated charity work, the way they always seem to land on the right side of every controversy. Well, your instincts were correct. When Ellen's mask finally slipped, she didn't apologize. She played victim from her $450 million fortune. When Oprah's scandal surfaced, she quietly distanced herself and moved on. Tonight, Rob Schneider and Dave Chappelle are exposing why these two champions of kindness are absolutely terrified that their decades of calculated deception are finally catching up with them. You know what's fascinating about the Ellen DeGeneres saga? It wasn't just one scandal that brought down America's supposed sweetheart. It was the systematic unraveling of a carefully constructed lie that had been decades in the making.
I'm seeing this week that there is an attempted comeback by somebody who did not cross one of those fateful lines of the misstepping on their sacred cows of gender or race or
yeah.
But she was said to be a nasty and that's Ellen DeGeneres.
Yeah.
So her show got canceled after she had this testy exchange with Dakota Johnson where something happened where Dakota said, oh, I had this birthday party. And Ellen said, well, why didn't you invite me? You didn't invite me. And she said, like, no, I did invite you, Ellen. That's not what happened. And Ellen had blown her off and then tried to play the victim on the set with her. Anyway, it led to article after article of people being like, Ellen is a nasty person. And all these staffers started to come out, not for nothing, but I know a guy, I know him very well, whose sister worked for her, who said, you were not allowed to make eye contact with Ellen in the halls of that show. If you saw her, this is not a nice person. So she eventually got canceled, but now she's coming back. She's got a Netflix special. That's the right response.
Yeah.
She's got a Netflix special. And here's the capper. On the promo, and apparently there's now articles out about from people who have seen the preview, she plays the victim. And she says, poor me. And she actually has the nerve to say that she was run out of Hollywood. This person...
With $100 million in her pocket.
$450 million, according to Forbes. That's a low estimate.
Yeah.
Because, so now she's out there saying, I was run out of Hollywood. She's actually reportedly complaining about how hard it is for women in America with the double standards.
Look at Oprah, how hard it is for her.
Oh, she's got, like 10 houses, Ellen DeGeneres?
Michelle Obama, look how hard it is for women in America. They're hurting.
They're going to let her back in, Rob, because she's a lesbian, she's a leftist, and she didn't hit one of their sacred cows. Nastiness, that's their bread and butter.
The Dakota Johnson incident wasn't the cause of Ellen's downfall. It was the moment her mask slipped on live television. For years, Ellen had been perfecting this victim-playing strategy whenever she got caught being awful to people. But this time, Dakota didn't play along with the script. And once that crack appeared, everything started pouring out. The no eye contact rule for her staff. The systematic workplace mistreatment. The 9-stage manager she fired in a single season. The Ellen gaze that employees described as feeling like a queen searching for her next execution. But here's where it gets really insidious. Instead of acknowledging the documented evidence of her toxic behavior, Ellen deployed what Rob Schneider calls the ultimate Hollywood defense strategy.
I think everyone I mean, I will say, like, the resentment, I think everyone should have a chance for reconciliation. I don't think Jesus exempted anybody. And so I do, while it does, because I have been allowed back in, but I don't hold any grievance and resentment. It's very important. And I would just say for Ellen, the resentment, you have to get over resentment. To whatever addiction or addictive qualities happen, to get over it, you have to deal with resentment and address it. And then otherwise you're going to fall back into the same pattern. And I think also to admit your mistakes.
Of all people on earth to be feeling sorry for herself, Ellen DeGeneres should not be on the list.
She should at least, but make a real apology and do it.
There's no apology. It's just woe is me. I was run out of Hollywood as she speaks from this grandiose stage on Netflix. Hello, you haven't been canceled if you are doing a Netflix special. She got $20 million for the one before this. I'm sure she's fine.
I'm sure she's fine. It is, Ellen is a comedian and all comedians, and I get it, and I have to fight this, and it is true. You never forget that even though she has $450 million, I really do, and I mean this sincerely, the fact that she had to hold back that she was a lesbian for years, and ABC told me you couldn't come out. I mean, that frustration would create an anger and a resentment that I think is understandable for people. That doesn't equate or doesn't justify any meanness or any ugliness. But I was with her, and when she was a stand-up comedian, and when they made her star in a movie where she had to kiss another guy and do this movie, which obviously wasn't being able to play herself. And I do remember being with her and feeling that resentment and going, wow, that's a much tougher road than I've had to go through. Mm-hmm. And so
But I know, the same society bestowed riches beyond the wildest imagination upon this woman.
But when you don't get over your grievances and you let it fester and resent and take it out on people, and then I think that's something that has to be, I mean, there really does have to be a coming to Jesus moment where you have to, I mean, literally or figuratively, where you can just get over this stuff and then start over and say, yeah, I was whether you want to use the C word or the B word, and admit that and move on.
She's carrying decades of resentment that she never dealt with. And once she got power, she weaponized that resentment against innocent people who had nothing to do with her past struggles. But the manipulation goes deeper than just workplace mistreatment. Rob's pointing out something crucial. Ellen had every opportunity to heal from whatever pain she'd experienced early in her career. Instead, she chose to let that resentment fester until it turned her into the very thing she once fought against. The most disturbing part, she's still using that same victim playbook today. With her $450 million fortune, multiple mansions, and global platform, she's still trying to convince people that she's the one who's been wronged. This isn't about redemption or growth. This is about a master manipulator who learned that playing victim is more profitable than taking accountability. And the reason she's terrified of being truly exposed is because her entire empire is built on a lie that millions of people are finally starting to see through. Rob Schneider didn't just call out Ellen's behavior. He diagnosed a psychological pattern that explains why certain celebrities can mistreat people for decades and still expect sympathy when they finally get caught. But here's what makes this story even more disturbing. While Ellen was perfecting her victim manipulation playbook, there was someone else who saw exactly what she was becoming and refused to play that game. His name is Dave Chappelle, and his resistance story exposes why people like Ellen and Oprah are so terrified right now. Why'd you walk away?
Why'd you walk away from $50 million?
I wasn't walking away from the money. I was walking away from the circumstances with the newfound plateau.
Yeah.
It was completely outside of my frame of reference. I've been in show business since I was 14. I've heard the stories, seen these kinds of things play out in front of me. I mean, you see it before. Look, Mariah Carey made a $100 million deal, and 3 months later, she's all of a sudden mysteriously crazy. Or Martin Lawrence punches through and he's waving a gun on the street screaming, they're trying to kill me.
Yeah, we hear those stories.
And it always happens around the time of their career where it seems as though they're crossing over the next plateau.
Yeah.
It's incredibly stressful.
Yeah.
And I felt like in a lot of instances, I was deliberately being put through stress because, You know, when you're a guy that generates money,
Yeah.
people have a vested interest in controlling.
Watch that interaction carefully. Dave is trying to explain a $50 million decision that shocked the entertainment world, and Oprah keeps interrupting him, keeps trying to paint him as unstable.
Watch that interaction carefully. Dave is trying to explain a $50 million decision that shocked the entertainment world, and Oprah keeps interrupting him, keeps trying to paint him as unstable. That's not journalism. That's damage control for an industry that can't afford to have people walking away from their control system. Dave saw the trap before it snapped shut. Ellen did. Africa wasn't a breakdown destination. It was a strategic retreat. Dave realized his value was being systematically undermined, and instead of staying to fight a rig game, he disappeared until he could return on his own terms. But the industry's response to his independence reveals everything you need to know about how this system really works. Martin
Lawrence is the guy that showed everybody you can make it from D.C. to Hollywood. And I had a personal stake in his success. Every time he did something, it made me feel inspired and really good. And he was always real nice to me. He'd sit me down, "What's going on with you, baby boy? What? We'd talk about comedy, whatever." And, you know, when we did Blue Streak, we were promoting it, and Martin had a stroke. He almost died. And then after that, I saw him, and I was like, "Oh my God, Martin, are you okay?" And he said, "I got the best sleep I ever got in my life." That's how tough he is. So let me ask you this. What is happening in Hollywood that a guy that tough will be on the street waving a gun, screaming, "They are trying to kill me"? Yeah. What's going on? Why is Dave Chappelle going to Africa? Why does Mariah Carey make a $100 million deal and take her clothes off on TRL? A weak person cannot get to sit here and talk to you. Ain't no weak people talking to you. So what is happening in Hollywood? Nobody knows. The worst thing to call somebody is crazy, is dismissive. I don't understand this person, so they're crazy. That's bull. These people are not crazy. They're strong people. Maybe the environment is a little sick.
This is the key insight that separates truth tellers from system players. Dave looked at Martin Lawrence waving a firearm, claiming people were trying to eliminate him. And instead of dismissing him as crazy, Dave asked the critical question, what is happening in Hollywood that would make someone do this? That's investigative thinking versus industry programming. While everyone else was calling these men unstable, Dave was recognizing them as strong people at odds with the machinery. I'm a conspiracy
theorist to a degree. Like when I connect dots that maybe shouldn't be connected, I don't know. But certain dots, like when I see that they put every black man in the movies in a dress at some point in their career, I'll be connecting them down like, wow, all these brothers gotta wear a dress. That's happened to me. I'm doing a movie with Martin.
Yeah.
The movie's going good. So I walk in the trailer, I'm like, man, this must be the wrong trailer because there's a dress in here. They come in, the writer comes in, I think he's the writer, he's like, Dave, listen, we got this hilarious scene where Martin's sneaking out of jail, so he disguises you as the and he put this dress on, and what? No, I'm not doing that, I don't feel comfortable with that. That should have been in the discussion. What? You don't feel comfortable with it? I mean, it's a hilarious bit. All the greats have done it. So, well, if all the greats have done it, it's kind of hacky, right? You're right. So why don't we just not do it? Because I don't feel comfortable wearing a dress. Oh, come on, Dave, listen, we got it all set up. We're supposed to shoot. Every minute you waste costs this much money. You know, the pressure comes in. He said, I'm not wearing no dress, man. I'm funnier than a dress. Just give me something funny to say. I don't need to wear no dress to be funny. What am I, Milton Berle? You know, we're going like this. And then finally he's like, and he leaves. And then like the director comes, Dave, it really would be great if you wear the dress. What is wrong? What is this, Brokeback Mountain in here? So then, wear the dress. I don't want to wear the dress. I want to wear this dress. You know what I mean? This is, oh gosh, it's so difficult. They leave. Now the producers comes, come on, David, would be so great. I mean, and then I started thinking about it. All the comics that I've seen, man, you know, strong brothers, why they be putting us in these dresses? But the minute it was clear, I was adamant, I'm not wearing a dress. I'm not wearing the dress. All right, fine. Think of something else. Guy comes back 10 minutes later, the whole new scene. Damn, how did you write the scene so fast? You know, it's like, so you gotta take a stink.
Stink 10 minutes. That's how long it took them to present Dave with a backup scene when he refused to wear a dress. 10 minutes to produce an alternative that just happened to be ready. That wasn't spontaneous creativity. That was systematic pressure with predetermined alternatives. They had studied Dave's psychology, anticipated his resistance, and prepared multiple scenarios to break his boundaries. You're not supposed to do this in my...
I'm not supposed to do this in my business. I'm up here doing something that nobody else in this business has the balls to do. I'm telling you something that you need to know. I'm trying to explain to you what you're seeing. You don't understand what you're seeing. I am publicly flogging a network. And I know that this network, they watching me and they saying, why are you doing this so publicly? Doesn't feel good to be flogged publicly. Oh, believe me, I know. I know exactly how that feels. When I quit my show, they said I was crazy. What was crazy about it? I just didn't want to do it anymore. They said I smoked crack. That's impossible. I was a devout Muslim. I didn't smoke or drink. But I do now because you ruined my life.
There's the cost of resistance. Dave is explaining that calling out industry preds is forbidden. And when you break that rule, they ruin your life. Not just your career, your life. But here's what makes Dave's story so powerful. He survived their retaliation and came back stronger. Ellen, on the other hand, became what Dave was fighting against.
Somebody once said my problem was I didn't understand the social contract here. I now understand what that means.
Yeah.
Do you understand it?
The social contract?
Yeah.
I think I do.
Yeah. What is it for you?
The social contract. You can't get mad.
Mm-hmm.
You can't get mad. You can't let it get you, because you have to make a deal with everyone else, and it's almost unspoken that you are going to be over at some point by people who you may have done something nice for.
Mm.
And it may happen that by circumstance, or even very purposefully, that you someone over. But that shouldn't get in the way of you being able to sit down and have fun with them. Am I on the right track?
Absolutely.
You can't build a resentment about it. You have to still try and love those people.
Yeah.
Because that's the way they're thinking.
Because it ain't personal.
No, it's not personal. They don't really mean to hurt you.
No.
Not really. I don't quite understand. Well, I mean, there's a lot of motivations for why it happens. Yes, many.
I mean, money will make you do stuff as well, won't it? I mean,
Yes.
one, them, us,
Yes.
you know.
Yeah, well, whoever.
If there's many millions riding on a decision, it's hard to be philosophical.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very hard. Very hard to be, you know, you have to choose what level of integrity you're coming in at. And
Okay.
and I've often felt it. I've sat there and I have felt the knife slipped firmly in between my shoulder blades and tried to have it shoved through the other side through my heart. And I've actually felt the whole thing and I've gone, ah! Or wait till next week, you know, or I'll think, and you'll resent it for a little while, then you have to let it go. Otherwise, you'll eat yourself alive.